We spoke about how, obviously, everything going on in Israel. One of the famous questions, if you've ever been to my class, one of the things we talk about is, Kosh Baruch Hu is truth, and everything he does is for the best. But then you see such a tragedy like this, you see something going on like this, and you have the question comes to you. Many people ask me the question, how could it be? What's going on over here? Maybe you can help me understand what's really going on in the world. How is this for the best? And it's a question we have to understand. And to really understand this question, we have to really dig down and understand. First things first, we have to understand that all the people who unfortunately passed away from the world that day and every other day since, we should know that the Zohar Kadosh says that they reach a place in Gan Eden that no other person in the whole entire world could ever reach, even if they're a wicked person. Even if they did no mitzvot or anything like that, to die in Kiddush Hashem, to die for the sake of God's name, 100% guaranteed, one-way ticket to Gan Eden, not just to Gan Eden, to heaven. You reach the highest levels. Basically, there's 4 stations by God's throne of glory. The top one is the people who die in Kiddush Hashem. The ones who died purely just being Jewish, those are the top level. Top level. And as we know, anytime someone passes away, they say the ones who suffer are the ones who stay, not the ones who go. So we understand what a high level they're on. Al Kedekach, the Rabbi Akiva, the Gemara in Masechet Brachot teaches us that Rabbi Akiva, when the Gemara relates the story of what happened to Rabbi Akiva when he was going to be put to death, they started combing his skin with iron, taking off his skin and torturing him. And his students came to him and told him, why don't you do something about it? You know the mystical names that Moshe Rabbeinu used to kill the Egyptian. Use it. You can kill everyone around you and get out of the situation. And Rabbi Akiva, what did he say? He said to them, my whole life I was troubled with a question. We say in Kirat Shema, Kol me'odecha v'kol nafshecha. He says, you have to always serve God with all your neshama, with all your soul. He said, I was always troubled with this question. How do you serve God with all your soul? I didn't know, what does that mean, all your soul? Okay, you all your money, all your life, but all your soul. How do you serve God with all your soul? My whole life I was troubled with it. Today I realized that serving God to this point is dying in Kiddush Hashem. He said, die in this. My whole life I prayed that I'd be able to have the ability to really give God my whole entire neshama, my whole entire soul. And he said Kirat Shema. He said Kirat Shema. And he was marich. He was extended on the Echad. Echad, he said, as long as he possibly could, to take up all that pain, because he knew what a great honor it was to die in Kiddush Hashem. So to those who passed away, we should know that they're on the highest level. What the greatest honor they did in the whole entire world to sanctify God's name. But us that remain here, what goodness do we see? We see that when did we hear the news? Simchat Torah. When did everything happen? Simchat Torah. What do we read in Simchat Torah? What parasha? We finished the 5 books of Moses and we start Bereshit. We start again. And Bereshit starts with 3 words, Bereshit bara Elokim, which basically means in the beginning God created. If you look at the last letters of those words, Bereshit bara Elokim, Bereshit, Taf, bara, Aleph, Elokim, Men. What does that spell? Emet, truth. Says the Kadosh Baruch Hu, just know that even in this there's my truth. And what is truth? Every king has a signet ring, right? He has a ring that he uses to stamp. He has a letter comes to him, he would stamp. Says that Mifashim explain, God's signature is Emet. Everything he stamps Emet. That's his signature. What's special about the name Emet? If you look at the Hebrew alphabet, it starts with the letter Aleph, ends with the letter Taf, and in the middle you have Nun and Mem. So Kosh Baruch Hu says, my Emet, my truth, it starts in the beginning of the story, has also the middle of the story and the end of the story. To know the truth of how I operate the world, you have to see the beginning, the middle, and the end of every story. The beginning, the middle, every story. So maybe right now we're not going to have the school to really see the full ending of Hashem, what the goodness He did for us. I believe at the end we're going to say thank you Hashem, everything that happened, because it's going to be the ultimate greatest thing for Am Yisrael. But even today we see a little bit of the truth. Why? In the same week's parasha, last week's Bereshit, I'm going to get into Noach soon. But in Bereshit, every day in creation, God said the word Kitov, 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 except for the second day. Every day He said, because it was good, I created it, didn't say it was good, it was good, it was good. The second day He didn't say good. So how come He didn't say good on the second day? And why didn't He say good on the second day? Because the second day, what did He create? The water, and He separated the water, the firmament, the heaven and the earth, He separated it. Says the Mefashim, the commentary explains, the Kli Yakar comes to ask this question, and he answers, and he says, anytime you have separation, it can't be good. And what do we learn from over there? Look at Israel, the Jewish nation that was before all of this. Separated. You had left, you had right, you had up, you had down, you had backwards and sideways. Everyone had their own ideologies, people were scattered. Right? What did Haman tell Achashverosh? Am mefuzar, a scattered nation. That's what happens when we're separated, we're a scattered nation. Kosh Baruch Hu said He gave us a little bit of a tsar, and we never seen achdut like this, we never seen togetherness in the Jewish nation like this in the whole entire world. I'm 28 years living, but Hashem I'll be Zochet 120, and maybe you can also testify for the years. You've never seen achdut like this in your whole entire life, no? We've never seen togetherness like this in Am Yisrael, like ever. People in Israel going everywhere they possibly could go. Phones dropping on the floor. People in Israel going everywhere they could possibly go, giving out tzitzit, doing everything. A guy came to me yesterday. He says to me, listen, can you find me? I gave a shiur in the city yesterday, the 30 guys, Baruch Hashem. Today I'm married. Look how close people are getting. Look how it woke up people. We did a shiur in the city. We handed out. I came to the rabbi. I told the rabbi, listen, everyone is in his time. It's very crucial. Everyone should take upon himself something. Maybe we'll get tzitzit, donate. We'll put it in the sign if anyone's going to take. The rabbi says, how much are you going to need? I said, buy whatever you think. He said, 40 you think is good? I said, yeah, buy 40. I said, but rabbi, I might have to give you some back because I don't think we're going to give up 40. We did a shiur on Tuesday, 20 gone. So I came yesterday to the city with 20 tzitzit. We got over there. I didn't even announce the tzitzit. Already 7 people. By the end of the night, we came back with tzitzit, 40 gone. I called the rabbi today. I said, Rabbi, we need more tzitzit. He says, what do you mean? I said, we finished everything. All 40 gone. You had guys over there wearing Dior shoes and Supreme pants and kids and a tzitzit over the top with the beanie. Rabbi Yaakov Jake was telling me, you know, let's take a picture here. We can put on it. You know what? This marketing. Look at this. Look at this kid. He's sitting over here. He has the rule, the kids, the represent, and he's over here and he has tzitzit over the top. One has it's beautiful to see. If I ask me, I thought it was very stylish, honestly. I'm being real with you, bro. I think it's a new fit. You better see the goyim walking in the city with the tzitzit out, you know? But man, they start selling the kit tzitzit. You know, I see tzitzit with the kit on the side, the little Supreme box logo tzitzit. They're becoming in fashion. But what's going on over here? You see that you have an itorerut, you have a awakeness in the Jewish nation that you never had. People are coming back to God, and we see something, a little bit of the emet, the togetherness. You know the power of the Jewish nation when we stand together? When we stand alone, we're only ourselves. Right? Remember when you were a kid, and you would go out, and there was some problems, and you were by yourself, you were a little bit afraid. I don't know about you guys. I wasn't afraid, but maybe you. No, but the truth, if you're by yourself, you're not as. But I remember when I used to go with my brother, Eli can testify to this, when me and my brother, we felt invincible. We felt we could take on the whole entire world. No, Eli, when me and Shannon were together, that was it. Huh? I don't care who was coming, 10, 20, 30, 40 people, we were ready to go at all times. Because Shannon was with me. Togetherness is one of the greatest things you can ever have in the whole entire world. I said the story before, I'll say it again, just to illustrate the idea of what the power is when we stand together. There was a father who had 12 sons. And as you know, kids grow up in the house, they're fighting, this one's using the bathroom, this one wants to wear his shoe, this one's borrowing his sweater, constantly fighting. When they reached the age left the house, she had a few brothers who wouldn't talk to each other. This one wouldn't talk to this one wouldn't talk to this one. No, I'm not going to forgive him. No, I'm not going to this. One day the father gets sick. He calls all the sons, he tells them, listen, I want, now that I'm nearing my end, I want you to do me a favor. What's the favor? I want all of you to come to the house together. Come on, Abba, you think I want to see him? I don't want to see him. 20 years, I haven't spoken to him. I'm asking you, my last final wish, I want to see all my kids together. So all the brothers, of course, they agree. Abba's last final wish, what are they going to say? No? So they go. They get to the house. The father takes out the sons to the backyard, hands every one of them a stick, and he tells them, break it. What do? Quickly. Everyone breaks a stick like nothing. Says, okay, now hands him another stick. So now I want you, everyone, to take your stick and hand it to your older brother. And everyone takes their stick, and they give it to the oldest brother. Now he's holding 12 sticks. He goes, break it. Everything he's trying can't break it. This is not to the next brother. All 12 of them try to break it. It doesn't break. Can't break it. Father tells his sons, this is exactly what I want to teach you before I leave the world. I want to teach you the power you guys have when you stand together. When you stand alone, you could be easily broken. When you stand together, nobody can break you. So to Am Yisrael. So to Am Yisrael. So even though we have this Etzara, as we know, those who passed away, they're in the highest levels, in the higher realms, we cannot even imagine where they're sitting. But for us, what do we see? We see the Achdut, we see togetherness like we never seen before. We see the love between the Jewish nation. We see people coming back to God in numbers you've never seen. People doing things they never did before. Videos of last week, guys putting on tzitzit, putting on tefillin. Guys who never put on tefillin in 35 years, putting on tefillin for the first time. Guys putting on tzitzit, never wore tzitzit in the first. I remember 2 months ago, I was fighting with a guy to put on tzitzit. Fighting with him to put on tzitzit, only on Shabbat. 45 tzitzit we gave out already. We just got the tzitzit today, right now. We had to pick it up. What time did you pick it up? 7 o'clock? 7 o'clock, by 7:30, we already had 5 gone. Within 30 minutes, you went to one place, 5 was gone already. 3 months ago, not even 2 months ago, I'm telling you, I was fighting with a guy, nail and teeth, trying to get him to get to point 1. Now, Hashem, you have itorerut like we've never seen before. That's one goodness that came out of this situation. I believe that there will be much more. But one good thing we see is the togetherness that we have. Another example, in this week's Parashat Noach, it says that there was 10 generations from Adam HaRishon until Noach. Look how patient God was. From Adam HaRishon until Noach, 10 generations. Every generation was about 100 years. About 1,000 years from Adam until Noach. Right? And what happens? The generation were doing the most disgusting things in the entire world. It says that v'tishchat haaretz, v'tilmei haaretz chamas nifnei Hashem, and the world became corrupt. It became lawlessness, robbery, thievery in front of God. And God said, okay, now I'm going to destroy the world. So the Mefarshim asked a question, why did you wait so many years? Why only now? Kadosh Baruch Hu, and the Mefarshim explain, that Kadosh Baruch Hu, when it comes to sins between Kadosh Baruch Hu and Hashem, between a man and God can tolerate if you do something wrong against him. You do tshuva, as long as you understand that it's somewhat wrong, or you have some type of thoughts of maybe coming back one day in your life, Kadosh Baruch Hu can tolerate it. How do we know? It says, Lifnei Hashem. The Pasuk says in front of God. Why does it have to say in front of God? So the land was filled with corruption. That's it. You don't need to say in front of God. Why have to say in front of God? Because in front of God, what does it mean to say? They had no busha. They had no embarrassment. Even in front of God, they didn't care to do all these things. Even in front of God, they didn't care to do all these things. Meaning to say, it was already everything that they were doing. What were they doing? The Mefarshim explained, the Midrash explains that what happened, the door of the Mabul, the generation of the flood, everything they wanted, they had. Nice weather all year long. No rain, no snow, sunny days, beautiful weather. They didn't have mitzvot, didn't have Torah yet. Didn't have to do no tefillin in the morning. Didn't have to get up shacharit, nothing. Just have be good people. 7 mitzvot Noach. What if don't kill, don't steal, don't commit adultery? You had all those 7 things, but other than that, you only had 7. Go on with your life, live your life the way you want. No tehillim, no shiurim, no Torah. Go enjoy life. Just Baruch Hu says, go live life good. Not only that, they never got old. Midrash says that the first old person in the world was Avraham Avinu. Avraham Zaken Baba Yamim. Avraham was old, he came in his days. Why is he the first old person? Avraham and Yitzchak were identical. They looked like twins. When they would walk into a room, they didn't know who was the father, who was the son. So they would get it for both of them. Avraham, Yitzchak, they didn't know who was who. So Avraham told God, listen, how is someone going to know the distinguish between the father and the son? So let people become old. That way people can understand, to be able to discern what old age is and to give respect as the years come. To be able to understand who's older, who's younger, to differentiate between experience, between knowledge, something like that. Give it the first person to be old, Avraham Avinu. Yitzchak was the first person to get Yisurim. Any type of punishment in the world. Yitzchak comes to God and says, hey, wait a second. What if a person does a sin in this world? How is he going to clean up for it? He has to give him to this world. Who was the first blind person in the world? Yitzchak. Yitzchak was the first blind person. Right? He became blind. How did he not know Yaakov, Esav, he's touching his hands? Why? Whatever, he looked at the Shekhinah. Why he had to be punished is a different conversation, not for today. But he was the first person to ever be punished. And Yaakov Avinu was the first person before he died to actually get sick. Why? Because before Yaakov Avinu, what happened? People would sneeze, Hachu. And that's it. He'd get that, right on the spot. But man, that's why when a person sneezes, what do you say? La briut, to your health. Why? What does sneezing have to do with your health? Think about it for a second. Imagine the guy comes out to the bathroom, you gotta tell him, La briut. The guy goes to the bathroom and says, I just went to the bathroom. La briut. Huh? The guy sneezes, La briut, to your health. Why did I do? I just sneezed. Because back in the day, Hachu, imagine you're walking in the street, Hachu, that's it, gone. Sneeze, that's it, it's over. They're mad. God forbid a cat walked by. Sneezing, the guy lost his life. Yaakov Avinu says, how is a person going to write a will? How is he going to give something to his children? How is he going to give them last departing words? And Yaakov Avinu, in the end of his life, he got sick. And he blessed all of his children. So what did that teach us? That before them, no sickness, no punishment, no old age, no bad weather. Everything was perfect. Everything was perfect. They had everything they wanted. All the money in the world, all the food in the world. They didn't have to crazy go work, nothing. Everything was perfect. That's why one guy came to me and told me, let's imagine for ourselves for a second. If God created the world from fresh, right? Everyone was wiped out. We started from fresh, right? And we just gave these people everything in the world. Okay? We didn't teach them this, that. Just give them everything in the world. You don't think that eventually they'll get to the place that had morals and ethics and this and that. I told them, so why are you making an example? Let's just look in the Torah. Dor Mabul. This is exactly them. They didn't have anything. Look what happened to them. What would they do? They would sleep with animals. I don't want to say the story over here, but my cousin told me he used to be a guard in the military. One time they had an Arabic going back and forth every day into a cabin. So maybe he's planning on digging a tunnel or something like that. Every day they chased him for 3 months, and they come over there, and they caught him in the Maaseh with a goat. His second wife. It's like Bilam with the donkey. It's a real story. My cousin Chad told me. He was like, I was walking on him with a gun during the Maseh with a gun. So it Kayam today, but also it was Kayam then. They were sleeping with animals. How bad were they sleeping with animals? That the animals also were interbreeding. A lion was sleeping with a zebra was sleeping with a giraffe, and so on and so forth. The whole entire world was going crazy over there. And not only that, if a guy saw your wife, he wanted her, he just went and took her. Bemet. Why do you think they call Hamas Hamas? The Hamas, they didn't come from them. You see it's in this week's parasha. Hamas. The land was filled with thievery, with corruption, with chaos. Why do you think it was? It's in the Torah. You think Hamas came first? You think when he said the land was filled with Hamas, you had a bunch of Arabs coming in there, yeah, with the Tarantas? No. What does it mean that they came in with Hamas? Man, I want to understand. What does it mean that Hamas filled the land? Huh? What does it mean? It means that the land was filled with corruption. The land was filled with thievery. They stole from each other. They killed each other. They did whatever they wanted to do. There was no ahava. There was nothing to do with one another. They hated each other. If another person had something you wanted, he's your enemy. A person had something you wanted, he's your enemy. And they killed people for things they wanted. So Kadosh Baruch Hu says, listen, once you get to the point where you have no respect between each other, then for me, I need to start the world anew. And then I found Ish Samim Tzadik Bedorotav. Then I found the person Noach who was righteous and perfect in his generation. The Gemara in Masechet Sanhedrin has a machloket, has a argument between two Tanaim, Rabbi Yochanan and Rabbi Shlakish. Rabbi Yochanan says that Noach was a tzaddik only in his generation, meaning in this generation of wicked people, you could be a normal person and you'll be great. So that's why Noach was great. And Rabbi Shlakish says, no. He would have been righteous in any generation in the whole entire world. Any generation, you would have put him in Avraham Avinu's time, he also would have been in tzaddik. You would have put him in Moshe Rabbeinu, also would have been in tzaddik. So they learn it. Now I read this, I had a question. What did Noach do? What did Noach do that he said he wasn't a tzaddik like Avraham Avinu? If he was in Avraham's time, he wouldn't have been a tzaddik. And I'll tell you guys a story. I had a friend of mine who was holding strong of air in America, in Brooklyn. And then he unfortunately had to go and make a yeridah. Where did he go down to? Florida. He went down to Florida, the holy city of Florida. I'm a kadosh over there. And unfortunately, he went from being very religious, he went to being not so religious. So I give him a call. I tell him, listen, we're very close. I'm not coming to give you chizuk, okay? Because you're not going to take it from me. But at least tell me what I can do for people like you. You know what I'm saying? What could I tell you, theoretically speaking, that could be, you know what I'm saying? Give me the formula, maybe. What could I have told you? You stay the way you are, but give me the formula, you know? I was trying to use reverse psychology on him, you know what I'm saying? So you tell me and then you prove yourself correctly. Yeah, the guy gave me a whole vort. He said, Noach, Rashi, Masechet Sanhedrin, I promise you. The guy says, you're not religious, starts giving me a whole thing. Mekorot, Rashi, Tosfot, there. He said, why was Noach not a tzaddik in a generation? Because he didn't pray for the nation. He didn't know the value of every Jew. Avraham Avinu, he prayed for everybody. Moshe Rabbeinu, he prayed for everybody. Noach, God tells him, I'm making a flood, and what does he do? Hey, by the way, everybody, I'm making a boat. If you want to come, you're more than welcome. You know, if not, good too. You know, you don't want to come? All right, bro, you're right. Don't worry about it. Have a good day. You know, he didn't sell it. He wasn't doing kill. He wasn't on the street, buddy. I'm telling you, this is the last one. You're not making on this ship. You're not coming. That's it. What do you want to do? You want to be that guy? You want to be the guy who's the train? Starts telling him stories. People will leave. No. You want to come? Yes or no? I'm building a ship. No, I don't want to. Who are you, wacko? That's it. So because Noach didn't pray for the generation, that's why he wasn't righteous in his generation. And it's no wonder that Chacham Ovadia, his yortzeit, his Elulah, his Tiram in Olam happened, always falls on, right around Noach. Why? Because Noach, he didn't understand the value of every single person in the world. He didn't understand the value of every single Jew. However, Chacham Ovadia did. Chacham Ovadia loved every single Jew in the whole entire world. Going back to the original point we're saying, how important Achdut is. Chacham Ovadia would go out of his way. Out of his way, he would get on buses, he would get in cars, drive wherever in the whole entire world to go give a shiur. And he was Chacham Ovadia, not talking to you when he wasn't. Tell you how much he cared about every single Jew. Look how sensitive he was to everything. One time they called Chacham Ovadia to go give a shiur in front of maybe 45, the greatest rabbis of the generation. Now when you go to speak in front of rabbis, you got to come with Gemara, Pilpulim, Tosfot, back, forth. He gets over there, he sits down, he gives them a shiur, Musar and the Parashat. Huh? Noach, this, that, boom, he went, this. Everyone's sitting over there, they're in shock. Chacham Ovadia, one of the greatest Torah scholars in the generation, is giving us a simple Parashat, Musar, and the Parashat, what's going on over here? So at the end of this year, one guy came out to him. He got a little bit of a courage. He came out to him and said to him, listen, Rabbi, tell me understand what's going on over here. He said, I noticed that the cameraman over here wasn't so religious. I was speaking to him. Imagine, I remember 45 Rabbanim. If that was me, forget the cameraman. I want to impress these guys. Chacham Ovadia says, well, I don't care. I see only him. All I see is him. I don't see nobody else over here. You didn't get anything from the shiur. Go home. You don't need me. He needs me. You need my people lean back forward. Go open the sugya. Go. He needs me. He needs these words. Chacham Ovadia was so sensitive in his life, also after his life. I said this story. It's a very powerful story. You have to hold with me along the way this story. You have to listen attentively. Because the crazy story in the end is a boomba. A story that happened after Chacham Ovadia passed away. There was a man who lived in Netanya, in a city in Israel. He had 3 girls, 3 daughters. His 2 oldest daughters, his job was to drive them to school. His youngest was 1 year and 4 months. He didn't drive her to school. The wife would take her to Gan. Right? So my job was to take the kids to YDE, and you take the baby to the playgroup over here. Right? Make sense? So far, so good. One Friday morning, his wife tells him, listen, I'm not feeling well. I need to prepare for Shabbat. Whatever it was, I can't go. Can't go. So what does he say? Forget about it. Leave the kid at home then. No. What did he say? Don't worry, I'll take the kid. I'll take him. What I'm going to do, I'm going to drop off the 2 older girls. I'll come back. I'll pick her up and I'll take her. So he goes, he drops off his 2 girls. He comes back, picks up his daughter Racheli. 1 year and 4 months, puts in the bag with the motzets. He puts in the bag with the motzets. And happened to be, her gan was right next to where he worked. Right across the street, almost something like that, right around the corner. So what does he do? He starts driving to work. He gets over there and he goes to work. At 12 o'clock, it's Friday, early day. His wife calls him, don't forget to pick up Racheli. It's a half a day today, 12 o'clock, go pick her up. So yeah, I'm leaving the office right now. He walks over to the thing, strolling, gets over there, knocks on the door, the ganenet comes, the what do you call it, the kindergarten teacher comes. And she comes to the door and she says, hey, how you doing? I came to pick up Racheli. She goes, oh, your wife didn't drop her off today. He goes, yeah, I know I dropped her off. She goes, I don't know, I didn't see her, but maybe ask the other girl. Sarah, boy, she calls Sarah, she comes. Sarah says, hey, how can I help you? I'm looking for Racheli. Racheli wasn't here today. All of a sudden, the guy turns white like snow, and he realizes from 8 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock, his 1-year-old, 4-month baby was sitting in the car. He forgot to drop her off. And what day was it? In September in Israel, in the peak sun, the car was sitting in the sun. Now we have a Hatzalah member over here who can tell you that 4 hours in the sun, no chance. You agree? No chance. Right away, he runs to the car, he's screaming, he's crying, Racheli, Racheli. He gets to the car, he sees her gasping for air, he opens the car door, he picks her up, he puts her up in the air, he calls ambulance, calls police, calls everything he possibly can do. They come, they say if you were 1 minute off, that's it would have been her life. That was the last breath, the last gasp of air was the last one. And the doctor, when they get to the doctor's office, they stabilize her, ask her, how long was she in the car for? The father says, I'm embarrassed to say. How long was she in the car for? They insist. He goes, 4 hours. The doctor's face opened up like this. He says, 4 hours? And she's still alive? He says, there's a miracle going on over here. 2 hours guaranteed dead. 4 hours, the body would have been roasted already. Roasted. That miracle, they don't understand. This happened to be Friday, daytime. What day was it? Gimel Heshvan. What's Gimel Heshvan? The day of Ptirah Chacham Ovadia. Same day of the Ptirah Chacham Ovadia. The day where Chacham Ovadia died, his memorial, that day. That night on Shabbat, the father has a dream, and he sees retroactively what was going on in Shamayim. At the same minute, his daughter was in the car. He sees his daughter in the car. He sees God in the Kisei HaKavod, the throne of glory. And what does he see? Chacham Ovadia holding on to the throne of glory and screaming, save the girl! Save the girl. You understand what I'm saying to you? Save the girl. You understand what I'm saying to you? He already did his part. He already finished his world. That's it. He's already in the next life. And there's no going up anymore. And even after, not here, after, he still cares about every single Jew. Fighting for she survived because of him. Because he was screaming on Hashem. And somebody was screaming on Hashem. Chacham Ovadia is up there in Shemayim screaming on Hashem right now also. Chacham Ovadia knows the value of every single Jew. Every single Jew in the whole entire world, he knows the value. One thing we got from over here is look at the Jewish nation that we have today that we didn't have 2 weeks ago. We have a nation today that's stronger than we ever had before. Togetherness, love like you've never seen. You love a Jew today more than you ever loved a Jew in the whole entire life. Correct or not correct? I see a guy anywhere, I see a tattoo of a Magen David. Back in the day, you see him, it was okay. Today I see a tattoo of Magen David. My brother, what's going on? You want it was, huh? You know, today I met a guy, he did not look at all. I told him maybe he was Musad. He saw the guy, said maybe he's not at all. I see him, says, "Ma, Israeli all the way." I said, "Ma, you're undercover." Man. And it says love to everyone on the entire world. You have over here love that you can't imagine. And there's no more I'm left and you're right and he's up and he's down and he's this. You don't even ask the question anymore. We had a conversation, 4 Israelim and 2 left conservative Jews. You know what I'm talking about. There was no fighting, beefing. That's everyone was talking about the matzav. Everyone standing united. No separation. No separation. If you go look, on Yom Kippur, everyone heard the story. Fighting. They want to pray, they don't want them to pray. Fighting back and forth. I'm not saying anyone is wrong, anyone is right. Taking sides, I'm not taking sides. I'm not here to come say anyone's wrong or right. What I am coming to show you is look at the hatred. I don't want you to do this thing. What do you care? Go home. Go to the beach. What do you want from me? What do you want from me? No, that's why I don't want you to do it. There was not just separation between us. There also was hatred between us. Basis hatred. The only time we see basis hatred was destruction of the Beit HaMikdash. Destruction of the second Beit HaMikdash. That's the last time we see also basis hatred. And we'll finish with this, Chacham Ovadia, because obviously this whole week is the memorial Chacham Ovadia. One character each had said, Noach had tzaddik tamim bedorotav, which basically means a righteous, perfect individual. You know what perfect means? Perfect in every way. Sechet Avodah Zarah says that that the animals are perfect, no blemishes in the body. What does it mean perfect? Why is Chacham Ovadia also associated with this? Because Chacham Ovadia was perfect in every way. Why? Because he was so meticulous in everything he did. The mitzvah he did, the Torah he learned, everything he did, he was meticulous in everything he did. And not once, not twice, many times. I have maybe 5-7 stories over here that I'm not going to go into every single one of them. Of times, I'm going to talk you one. But from here you understand, there's been times Chacham Ovadia did things, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu not saved one, saved hundreds. One time, Chacham Ovadia famously Friday night, he would give a shiur from 8 to 9 o'clock. Every Friday night, 8 to 9 o'clock, he'd give a shiur in the Beit Midrash. Right? For the guys, for the Balabati, for the guys who are working guys, he would give a shiur 1 hour, Parashat Shavua. Parashat Noach, Parashat Bereshit, whatever it was, he would give 1 hour Drasha. His brother calls him and says, listen, I'm praying in a neighborhood nearby. I want you to pass by and give a couple of words of chizuk to the guys on Friday afternoon. Then you'll walk home, you'll have a kiddush with your wife, and then you'll be able to go give your shiur. What does he say? Listen, if I'm going to go there, I'm probably going to be a little bit late to my shiur. But he said, if there's people who want me to come, I'll come. And he goes. Happened to be, the Chacham Ovadia ended up showing up, I'm not going to the time exactly, about 8:30, half an hour later to the shiur. He starts talking, he starts giving the speech. At 9 o'clock, the petach, the entrance to the building, where they are, in Port Yosef, collapses. At 9 o'clock, the entrance, the whole ceiling collapses down. Everyone happened to be inside. Wait a second. If he would have started at 8 o'clock, and he didn't go, he would have started at 8 o'clock like he always did. At 9 o'clock, where everyone would be? In the entrance. And Chas v'Shalom, it would have been Ason Gadol, it would have been something who knows what. But because he said, you know what, I'm going to go and do something for Am Yisrael, I'm going to do one good deed for Am Yisrael, look who was saved. Look how many were saved. So to us. Everything you guys do over here on this front, I guarantee you is saving another Jew on another front. Everything you guys do, coming to Shiur, Tehillim, everything you're doing for Am Yisrael, it's like you're standing over there with your Mehmet. We can't get desensitized to it. We have to understand, Mehmet, 100% wholeheartedly, that everything we do right now today, more than ever in the whole entire world, we're helping not save one, but millions. When they came in under the radar. Right? What they saw an opening, a crack in the armor. What they didn't calculate for was all the tefillot, all the prayers. Because as soon as it happened, once we turned it, the tables turned. Now we're in control. They're no longer inside. They're no longer trying to get us. Now you have other people getting involved. All they're doing is shooting bombs. And we have the Iron Dome, Baruch Hashem. And we're back into control. Why? Because Baruch Hu said, I just wanted one thing from you guys. One thing. I wanted you guys to be back together. That's all I wanted. So we see a little bit of the emet. We see a little bit of the truth in the Kosh Baruch Hu and everything that he does in the whole entire world. We see the greatness of what Hashem is. And I'll finish on this note. Noach, as we know, all famously, God tells him, make an ark. And I want you to bring 2 of every animal. Right? 2 of every animal, and I want you to bring more if they have to be sacrificed as a korban, but I'll just keep it simple. 2. And he says, I want them to be like you. Since that you're perfect, meaning you have no blemishes on your body, I also want them to be perfect, no blemishes. So what does Noach tell God? What do you think, I'm a magician? And I go, what am I going to do? I'm going to walk outside the tent, and all the animals are going to come to... What do you want me to do? You want me to go now? Hey, by the way, hey, lion. Hey, you good? You perfect? You have no blemishes? Yes or no? The lungs are punctured? Yes or no? How am I supposed to know? And what does God tell him? Build the ark, and I'll bring the animals. You build the ark, I'll bring the animals. And from there we learn what the Mishnah in Pirkei Avot says, Lo alecha amelacha ligmo. God teaches every single one of us that the job of finishing the work is not on us. God says, don't worry about what and how you're going to get there and what's going to be, how am I going to get to the point where I'm able to do X, Y, and Z. God says, don't worry about that. Just start. I'll finish the rest. And with that being said, every single one of us sitting over here, we all know individually what God is expecting from us, what God wants from us. So I say, don't look around and say what he's doing. I say, every single one of us take into our hearts and understand what we can do and what's the one step that we can take. That being said, we'll end this year. Because you're there. And I'll mention, before